most of it, when I've seen him, is full of water. I mean, he's like sloshes when he walks. So he had a drug problem. He's had a drug problem. He's come in, he's come out of rehabilitation. That takes it out of you. That takes it out of your body. Your muscles are never the same. He may be in for surprise from a smaller man. If you look at both of them, you certainly wouldn't think the outcome is in doubt. Orlin Norris is such a small guy. It looks like his son in here. Remember that Tucker was the IBF heavyweight champion. He won in a TKO over Buster Douglas in '87, but he lost it 63 days later to Tyson. So he's a guy that's been up there in the big time. He's looking for another big money shot. If he looks good today here, then he can get employment either with Foreman or with Holyfield.
Orlin Norris is looking to break into those elite members of the heavyweight division. He has become, for marketability at least, more of a slugger in recent goes for him, and perhaps that'll be to his advantage.
Well, if Norris can fight with the brio, the elan, and the desire that Terry Norris showed against Curry Saturday night, then we're in for an interesting heavyweight fight.
And there is Orlin Norris, who is the NABF champion going into this fight. But, man, he faces a vast size disparity, which you will see. It'll be very evident to you when we get the referee's instructions. But for now, we'll take a look at the tail of the tape. And you can see a difference in height.
Can you think that should be licensed? You look at a guy 6'5" over 5'9", 235 over 213. 213 is fully closed with Reeboks, a Rolex watch, and all the chains he could get on. So you know that this should be a mismatch, but you know it's not because of the talent that's involved.
And 11.5 inches difference in reach. Now, as we go into this fight, which is an NABF fight, we go by their rules. And the only difference that we have from the previous fights is that the 3 knockdown rule will be in effect for this fight. So 3 knockdowns in 1 round, and the fight will be called at that point.
And if you see a young man walking around trying to help his brother with a towel, that is the champion, Terry Norris. And the father, who's also been a boxer, a rather large addition of the Norris family. Orlin Norris told me when he started boxing, he started at 135 pounds. He now weighs 213. That is developing past all classes at meteoric speed.
Well, he and his brother Terry had some pretty good scraps, he told us, when they were youngsters. And he said Terry held his own with him, too. All right, we're just about ready for this NABF heavyweight title fight, so let's go up now for the ring introductions to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, Forum Boxing Incorporated, in association with Caesars Palace, presents our next featured bout, the NABF Heavyweight Championship. This bout is sanctioned by the North American Boxing Federation, the president, Bobby Lee, the supervisor in attendance, Dean Loheis, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Presenting the officials as appointed, judging at ringside, we have Bill Graham, Patricia Jarman, Paul Smith, and the referee in charge of this bout, Toby Gibson. All right, fans, here we go with the big men of boxing, heavyweights in the ring, scheduled 12 rounds for the NABF Heavyweight Championship. Introducing to you first the challenger, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing white trunks with orange and blue trim and hailing from Beverly Hills, California. His weight, 235 pounds. His record, 40 wins, only 1 defeat, with 33 big wins by way of knockout. He is the former IBF heavyweight champion of the world. They call him the Big Oaks Thunder, Tony TNT Tucker. And his opponent across the ring is the defending champion, fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the ring with white trunks and orange trim as he represents First Fighters Squadron in Campo, California. His weight is a ready 213 pounds. His fine record, 29 wins, only 2 defeats, 15 wins by way of knockout, and he is the NABF heavyweight champion known as Orlin Juice Norris. Here's your referee in charge, Toby Gibson.
Okay, I'm going to let both corners know right now, since the trunks are where they're at, I'm considering this a legal punch for both boxers. Gentlemen, I give you both your instructions in your respective dressing rooms. Give me a clean fight inside. Good luck to both of you.
Well, it's always been said that a good big man will beat a good little man. And Orlin Norris is going to try to put that theory to the test tonight.
The other thing is the bigger the man, the bigger the beating we're going to get. No, I would say one thing before we start. Tony Gibson, the referee, said something I've been waiting all my life to hear a referee say. Because of where the trunks are, he's not going to consider a low blow if they get hit on that band where it says juice and TNT. I've been waiting all my life to hear a referee say that. That's intelligent. If the trunks are too high, it's not a low blow. It's landed up there.
Boy, it's kind of a startling difference when you're at ringside here, when you just come out of a fight with the guys that weigh 108 pounds, and you go up into the heavyweight division, and you see Tucker in there at 235. By the way, since the Tyson fight, when he weighs 221, so he's still well above that. Tucker's average, as you alluded to earlier, referred to 246 pounds per fight.
You know, if the juice, which is the name that they've given Orlin Norris, comes from the first fighter squadron, off of what we're looking at, TNT is from a bomber squadron, heavy bomber squadron. Look at the size of that's TNT. Tony Tucker.
Freddie, would you agree that Tucker is a good technical fighter in the ring?
Yes, and he had great promise when he started. He unfortunately got himself involved with drugs, and that is highly destructive to your reflexes and your ability to fight. He had all the talent to be up there. He could have knocked out Mike Tyson. If he got himself back to where he was, he would be still a contender for the title of Tyson.
A wild right and then a wild left missing by Orlin Norris, who's trying to come in and throw uppercuts against Tony Tucker.
And you know,
long range.
Orlin says it's easier for me to punch up than for him to punch down. A bit of boxing logic that I have no idea what it means. I wouldn't like to punch up particularly.
Well, when you're 5'9" and fighting as a heavyweight, you invent your own logic.
Yeah, either that or you stay as a body puncher, level with his belly button. Which, by the way, there's been remarkably little body shots here. Not unusual for heavyweights. You always are looking for that one key out of here. That one key that unlocks the door to the knockout, a headshot.
Tucker trying to throw the left hook to the body. That'll be difficult for him because Norris, when he bends to throw that left hook to the body, Norris bends down too and doesn't give him anything to shoot at.
There's nothing but those big arms in front of him. He really has nothing there. Tucker shooting dynamite, no question about that. He's looking for that right hand. If that right hand lands.
There's that uppercut from Orlin Norris, and it landed. He's been trying it all around, the fourth or fifth one that he's tried, and it finally got through.
Tucker's been making the fight. He's not really landing anything effectively, but he's been doing all the punching. Orlin Norris apparently just waiting for that one opening. Figuring that the longer it goes, the more it is in his advantage because Tucker tires out.
Orlin Norris had only 9 knockouts in his first 22 fights. He was pretty much a boxer then, but he just felt that he had to change his style to market himself for running to be more effective. Boy, Norris is really loading up, missing, but nonetheless, he is throwing bombs, Sunday shots.
That's showboating. That's kind of showboating. He missed, and let me tell you, the terrible news is when you miss like that and you get hit in a counter punch, you go down. So he better stop doing that.
You can handle this guy fine, okay? You're boxing tonight, all right? But don't get relaxed on this guy, okay?
Okay.
Take a deep breath. Now, you start out boxing him good, all right? Then you cut your jab off in the middle of the round.
Okay.
Take a deep breath, not something in the wrist fast. You can beat this guy with one hand. Keep working your jab, okay?
Okay.
When he's down low,
Get him off balance with the jab. Get him off balance with the jab, then you'll catch him with one of them big ones. Get him off balance first. Perfect. Perfect. Keep making a miss. Keep that defense going. Keep making a miss.
All right, let's take a look at some of that action from round 1 as we get ready for the second round.
Watch his counter punch. You know, these two guys have thrown everything they can. Here comes that uppercut. Because TNT was so exposed, he'd thrown 2 big shots, and he was all off balance. That's what they want. The corner wants Orlin Norris to do. Jab, watch, wait for it. As far as TNT is concerned, you heard him say, listen, all you got to do is fight a one-handed fight. Just jab, jab, and then turn a hook off the jab.
You agree with that?
No, absolutely not. God gave you 2 arms. Defend yourself with.
The trouble for Norris, of course, with his reach disadvantage and the height disparity is he wants to get inside, but Tucker's got a pretty good stick with that jab.
Good right hand by Orlin Norris. He got in there with a jab, and that right hand followed with a hook. No question, he's certainly not intimidated. Orlin Norris is not intimidated by the size, the punching ability of Tony Tucker. He's right in his face. He's right up front there. Those thick cord-like arms up, forming a protective barrier. All he's hitting Tucker is gloves and forearm.
Norris is in his second stint as the NABF champion. He won it recently with a first-round knockout of Lionel Washington. Tucker trying to go to the body again with that left hook. Norris has had a couple of impressive victories over opponents with names in the heavyweight division. Ronaldo Snipes a few years back, and also Greg Page he defeated.
Oh, nice boxing by Norris. Did you see? He just kept moving his head, and TNT just missed every punch. That was nice. A little smile playing on the face of Orlin Norris, as just saying, you know, I'm a better boxer. You know, what are you trying to hit me?
That hook and then a right hand by Orlin Norris. And he has been able to reach the taller, bigger man.
I'm surprised he's not putting more of a jab to the midsection of Tucker. Guys that vary in weight that wildly have weak midsections. Little fancy damn boxing by heavyweights is always nice to see.
One thing you must also consider tonight in terms of Tony Tucker is he's 32 years old. You don't normally associate him with being an aging fighter. But at 32, he's slowed down some, probably from the fighter who faced Mike Tyson.
Well, he had a lot of little excursions in the drug rehabilitation programs, and that makes you miss a bunch of fights, and you don't see him, you don't think about him, you don't think about him getting old. He's getting old, and he's not in the greatest shape that he could be in because of the drug problem. You cannot fool with drugs and be an athlete. I'm convinced of it.
Norris trying to work to the body. There it again, the right hand and then the left hook to the body. Tucker tying him up. As we go into the final seconds now of round number 2. Again, good body work from Orlin Norris.
Oh, Orlin is fresh. He's having fun. The other guy's already starting to look fading.
End of round 2. And we remind you that the official program for tonight's Hearns Hill World Light Heavyweight Championship is available for order now on a limited basis. You can call 1-609-627-1356 to place your order now. Call 1-609-627-1356 to place your order now. Operators are on duty. Visa and MasterCard accepted. Well, there's a guy that had an interesting Saturday past and a successful defense of his title.
Here's a guy that has dropped out 3 of the top fighters of the 80s in his last 3 fights. He got rid of Mugabe in 1 round. He got rid of Sugar Ray Leonard in the Garden. And last night, or Saturday night, he got rid of Curry in a very impressive fashion. This young man is a force to be reckoned with. Now, why do you suppose Norris isn't intimidated with Tucker? Why do you suppose the guy is looking at him like if he's just a workout? That's because he worked with him. The answer is, fight fans, he worked with him. when he was preparing for Tyson, when Orlin Norris was a sparring partner for Tucker, and he claims to have dropped him in training, so he has the confidence that comes from that type of event.
You're planning to run these quizzes throughout the evening?
Yes, I have all kind of traps for you. I do my homework.
All right, near the end of that last round, the second round, Norris was effective with some body shots. Tucker is just trying to stick with that jab.
Tucker has certainly slowed down since the first round. It's only the 3rd round.
Right hand did not connect in the chin, and Norris slid down to the chest. There's a right uppercut on the break by Orlin Norris.
Inside uppercut on the break. The referee apparently did not notice. But Tucker did. He gave him a very dirty look. All of a sudden, it's Norris the hunter. All of a sudden, he's standing there like a coiled spring, ready to jump up into the face of Tucker.
Box it out there. Box it out there. Ain't no clinch. Let's go. Let's go in the hole.
He's landing good, crisp shots, Orlin Norris. Tucker trying to hook, but those punches are being picked off by Orlin.
All you see is his punches hitting the gloves of Orlin Norris.
Norris, when he goes into a defensive stance, holds his hands up very high. He's got him up on his forehead, his fists.
And the other thing is he's so strong that he's not moving those gloves back when you hit him. You know, it doesn't do you any good to have those gloves up there. They're popping your gloves back into your face. You got to be strong with it. You know, you just don't put them up there. You got to put them up there and hold them up there.
He's picking off a lot of those jabs of Tony Tucker right in midair.
If he has one fault right now, Nolan, Nolan, I'll get it out yet. Nolan is fighting the right kind of fight, except he's so predictable right now. He looks like he's just coiled up, ready to spring.
Norris trying to go with those body shots. Didn't come up to the head. Went to the body there. He tried the uppercut.
Well, there's no reason, no explanation why Orlin Norris just stood there and took all his body punishment.
Good combination. Those punches are not all landing clean, but they're partially getting through to Orlin Norris. Now let's see if Norris tries to launch the offensive. Yes, he does. Knocks Tucker back into the corner and comes up with the right hand.
Well, it certainly is interesting the way that Norris has figured out Tucker. He's let him wear himself out on his gloves and on his side, and then back he comes, springing forth.
Oh, Tucker grazing the face of Orlin Norris, and Norris coming back. Good action. Last 30 seconds of this round, best we've seen in the fight.
Oh, Norris is cooking.
End of 3 rounds now, with the action really picking up between the two heavyweights. Tony Tucker, who we look at in his corner.
Good eye. You see your shots coming, okay?
We are live at Caesars Palace, awaiting the start tonight of the Virgil Hill-Thomas Hearns light heavyweight championship fight as we watch this heavyweight battle. And in the dressing room, the two, of course, getting ready at this time. There's Virgil Hill. Got those hands wrapped, getting ready to go, very calm. Has about 1,000 of his fans from North Dakota on hand with him here to cheer him on. They were very loud at the weigh-in last night. The mayor of Bismarck is here as well. And in a very calm demeanor, a very calm dressing room, we see Alex Shearer, the new trainer of Thomas Hearns, who has replaced Emmanuel Stewart, from whom Thomas split last year. And he's wrapping Thomas Hearns' hands at this time. Get ready for round 4 now. Here we go. Norris had some very effective work, Ferdy, in that last round, in the last minute.
He's fighting very intelligently. He is taking all the punches that Tucker wants. He's inviting him to punch to the gloves and even to the side. I thought that was kind of a mistake he was making there, but he apparently is very confident in his condition and his ability to take the body shots of the bigger and stronger punching Tucker.
Tucker, the former IBF heavyweight champion. He won it back in May of 1987. Remember in the unification tournament when he defeated Buster Douglas and stopped him in 10 rounds and then lost it just a couple months later. Didn't even have a chance to enjoy the title. Lost it to Mike Tyson. But in defeat, he gained some admirers that night by going the distance and in the first round really rocking Tyson with a right uppercut.
Tyson still says that was the toughest opponent he's had. That was the last time he went to the distance, I think, Tyson. So he could be proud of that outing.
Tucker at times fighting mechanically in this bout.
Yeah, he's not fighting with fire. He's fighting from memory, apparently. And you know, the little smile of Norris is endearing to everybody but Tucker. He just seems to be having such a wonderful time.
He's coming in, and I think Norvin's a little message to Tucker that, hey, you can't keep me off with your left jab. Keep sticking it out there. I'm coming at you.
And he's out roughing him. He is out toughing the bigger man. Excellent thought by Tucker to try to land an uppercut between those two arms. It didn't work, but that is what he has to do.
This fight is scheduled for 12, and Orlin Norris showing no fear nor intimidation by the champion, or by the former world champion, Tony Tucker. Norris, the NABF champion now.
Well, this is a good lesson in defense for all you young fighters that want to train in how to keep from getting hit. And when he opens with the offense, he's a fierce little fighter. Is Norris, he puts in strong punches.
Yeah, and he throws them in bunches. He's got good hand speed, Ferdy. He showed there when he had the two lefts and then followed it up with the crisp right. And he can throw combinations at Tucker. He loaded up for a Sunday punch, an overhand right that caught Tucker on the top of the head.
Point builder and crowd pleaser, not hurting. Those little jolting punches he puts in, especially the little hooks, double hooks when he comes in. The second one is catching Tucker right on the jaw. He's outspeeding him even with a jab. This little tiny guy is outspeeding the huge guy with a jab.
Well, we are through 4 rounds, and the underdog in this fight, who you're looking at there, Orlin Norris, is with a good account of himself. Let's go over to Al Bernstein, who's ready now with Danny Glover. Al?
Well, thank you, Rich. I am here with the star of my favorite movie, Silverado, Danny Glover. Danny, what about this heavyweight fight? It's a good one.
It is. It's real good. Norris looks real great, man. And Tony Tucker, I don't know. He better watch out, man.
He better indeed.
Yeah.
Well, what can we watch out for in the main event? I know you have an interest in the Hills-Hearns fight. What do you think of that?
Well, I like Tommy a lot, but this young kid is too hungry, man. He may be a little bit too more hungry, you know, than Tommy. But I like Tommy.
All right, and you got a comedy coming out with Martin Short, Pure Luck. That sounds like a good
It's a riot. You know Martin. You know how Martin's the funniest cat you'd ever want to run into. It's a riot. We shot it in Mexico, and it's going to come out in August.
All right, comedy a little different for you, but it should be fun.
Well, you know, there's a lot of humor in the Lethal Weapons. You know, there's
That's
a lot
true.
of humor there.
Okay.
You know, so but it's fun.
Thank you
I
very
want to do
much,
more comedy though.
Okay, great. Let's go back to Rich Mott at ringside.
All right, thanks, Al. Boy, Al loves to rub shoulders with those celebs, doesn't he?
Glover is a big star. He's been given the opportunity. He's made the most of it. And I'm very happy.
Trying to make the most of an opportunity and coming in here as an underdog tonight is Orlin Norris, who was effective with his aggression in that last round. And Tony Tucker, while the much bigger man, has not really used his size to fight tall at all times tonight. He tries with that stick, but Norris has been able to solve it and get close to it. As he does there, coming across with the left to the body and the overhand right.
And what you're watching is the extremely slowed reflexes of Tucker.
That was a short jolting left hook, though, by Tucker that caught Norris coming in.
Tucker sees the storm coming, but he doesn't know how to stop it.
Tony, keep him up.
Norris back in his shell. You get the feeling it's not as if Tucker is out of this fight. All he needs, he's so huge, all he needs is one of those big, good crossing right hands or a good uppercut, and it could be curtains here. So it's not like this is an easy fight for Norris. He's just smiling like in his mind it's easy. He's making it easy.
Would it be, Tucker is a long-range fighter, Ferdy, but would it be to his advantage, I mean, 22 pounds heavier, to try to maul Norris a little, lay on him a little, push him down maybe from the back, that type of thing?
For Tucker, yes, not for
That's
Norris.
what I mean,
Oh,
for
yes.
Tucker.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He should try to get in close, but the problem is that Norris has got superior reflexes, won't let him get that close to maul him and grab him.
He's quick with his hands, isn't he, Norris, when he gets the combinations
He's one
going?
of the fastest heavyweights I've seen in a long time. I can't remember who's fighting right now that's got hands this fast. This family's got an awful lot of talent in it. Good chromosomes and genes were passed on from the father. Both guys can fight well.
Orlin Sr. fought himself a little.
How strange it is when you follow boxing that the sons of great fighters are not any good, and then the sons of bad fighters turn out to be champions. Low blow.
Stop punching.
That's the
Both of you keep him up. Keep him up.
Toby Gibson finally getting in and saying a little bit about the low blow. They have not been excessive, nor have they been bad.
Those punches were not cleanly landed by Norris, but he's coming forward. He's getting close. He's getting within the distance that he needs to be effective against Tony Tucker.
He's getting two C's, close and careless. The first one's good. The second one's not too good. He's getting to enjoy this so much, he's getting careless when he gets in.
I've had the feeling he's really enjoying the combat in there tonight.
I can't remember when a fighter smiled as much as this guy has.
Orlin Norris with a casual walk back to his corner.
See what you got in the back of that right hand? And that pile driver that we work on. Okay. You got the back of that right hand, so you got it. Not necessarily the right hand's what we want. We know which one we want, right? Deep breath. Very good round.
Good round. Good round.
Watch for this left hand. I see the miss by the right, but he doesn't quit. He comes right back with the left hand. Boop, right up on the forehead of Tucker. Point builder, and it gets you dizzy after a while. This guy's got to wonder, what is this that I got in front of me? Some little punching machine. He comes at me from all angles. He's fast, and he's got reflexes.
Steady the right hand's what we need. Okay, drink this one. Deep breath.
That's Abel Sanchez giving him the instructions on the outside. Joe Sayatovich, the guy with the cowboy hat, his manager, who's built himself quite a nice little stable.
You think cowboy hats should be outlawed in the corner?
I want to see Al Bernstein in a cowboy hat. I bet he can wear it fine.
You know, one of the knocks on Tucker was that even when he was great, he gets out hustled. He goes to sleep. He doesn't work hard every round. Well, so far, he hasn't worked hard at all, except in the first round. He's just been out hustled. Charlie Hustle out here has been Orlin Norris.
Yeah, you know, I think that's an interesting point, Ferdy, and it's well taken, because even in the fight when he won the heavyweight title against Buster Douglas, he was getting out hustled for 7-8 rounds by Douglas.
That's right.
Before Douglas got tired.
Abdicated.
Yes.
Resigned without prejudice.
That was respectful.
Filed Chapter 11 in the corner.
We are in the 6th round. Tony Tucker and the white trunks with the orange stripe. Well, there's not much to choose as far as the trunks between these two, but I think you can tell them apart. Well, Norris is the small guy and Tucker the big guy.
I couldn't tell them apart that way. I go with the guy from Beverly Hills has got golden slippers on like from Spartacus.
There you go.
Once you get into Beverly Hills, they corrupt you entirely.
Tucker's been working out in the same gym in Santa Monica. Good left hook by Tucker.
That was a nice left hook. These are hard punches he's putting out here. It's almost like he's listening to the commentary and saying, I'm going to show you, I'm back here fighting.
Tucker's been working at the same gym that Thomas Hearns has been working out to get ready for his fight with Virgil Hill in Santa Monica, California. Norris reaching Tucker with jabs. I tell you, if that becomes the case, if Norris can reach Tucker with jabs, that's going to spell big trouble for Tony Tucker.
Absolutely, and he's doing it. As short as he is, he's doing it. But you think he would counter over that short little jab with the right hand?
Yes, you would think he would, but it's not happening. Tucker's best work really has been with the left hook and the left jab.
Looking at tired reflexes. Again and again, I hate to belabor it because everyone has to have a chance when they come back from drugs. But for athletes that are out there in every sport, you just can't do drugs and expect to compete in championship sport. Even when you take the rehabilitation and come back, it's so tough.
Good right hand by Tucker, caught Norris coming in, but boy, did he take that well. Norris didn't even flinch, and it was a solid shot to the jaw.
And those were two good a thumping body shot, but a nice hook by Tucker. Every once in a while, he wakes up and he looks just good. If you just keep up the concentration, can't stay focused. He gets discouraged when he's just hitting gloves and he lightens up on the punch. Low blow. That was a low blow by Tucker. His corner counting out 10, meaning do something, steal the round. Well, he's got this round in. Got to survive it.
Final seconds of the 6th round. A left hook near the end of the round by Tony Tucker to the body. And we follow the challenger in this NABF heavyweight title fight,
just
Tony
keep
Tucker.
doing what you're doing, okay? Yes. You're looking good, okay? You're getting better as you go. Put him up a little bit. Give me some water. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Come on. Take another deep breath.
7 rounds.
There you go. You're boxing a masterpiece, okay? Just don't get crazy on me, here? Okay? Look, Tony. Work hard to get here.
Let's look at this sharp action. Now, there is a nice hook. Had that landed right on the money with Tucker, it could have been lights out. Now, as you see, I see the marching parade of 10s for Norris because he's winning just about every one. He's coming up 59 to 55. Yet, in Tucker's corner, they're saying that he's pitching a masterpiece. That was the word. McKinley said, stay on doing what you're doing. You're fighting a masterpiece.
I think I might have disagreed with you on the scoring of that last round, but I know one thing. I wouldn't be as excited. Actually, his cornermen look a lot more excited about things than Tony Tucker did in the corner.
It was a very close round, it could have very easily gone to Tucker.
Tucker trying to base everything off the jab. Look at him measure him to the right.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Doing it again.
Uh-oh. When you do that and you load up with that right hand, you can get hit because you're just waiting to throw that with all the power you got.
Let up. Keep that glove close, Tony. Hard warning 1.
Hard warning 1. As opposed to a soft warning. Hard warning versus a soft warning.
Well, Norris missed with the left hook, so he went in with the shoulder into the chest of Tony Tucker.
There's early football training in play here.
He's got that good football build. Orlin looks like he could play a little linebacker.
Yes, he could. Fill the hole.
Still to come tonight, don't forget, Thomas Hearns and Virgil Hill for the WBA light heavyweight title. Already tonight, we have seen Troy Dorsey with a stunning first-round knockout over Alfred Rangel, and we saw Chiquita Gonzalez regain his light flyweight title with a unanimous decision victory over Melchikov Castro. Right now, we are in round 7 between Tony Tucker and Orlin Norris. There have been no knockdowns in this fight.
Falling into the trap of repeating the same punches over and over again. Nice shots from Tucker. Nice combination from Tucker.
And he managed to force Norris to take a step back, and that's unusual for this fight. Norris had it, but Norris comes firing back. There's a good right by Norris.
Kind of like target practice. He just sort of aims at a moving target. It's like duck shooting or something, the way this guy is fighting, Norris is fighting. Whereas you see Tucker, just his toes are digging in. He just wants to land that big bomb, change this thing around.
Left hook by Norris grazed the face. Tucker was pulling away. We are through 7 rounds at Caesar's Palace of this heavyweight bout between Orlin Norris and Tony Tucker. Now let's go over to Al Bernstein with one of the promoters of tonight's fight, Dr. Jerry Buss. Al?
Well, thank you, Rich. Jerry, this is an excellent heavyweight matchup. It's a lot of fun.
I'll tell you, there's a lot more activity than I thought there was going to be, Al. That's a lot of punches in a heavyweight fight.
And speaking of a lot of punches, we're going to see a lot more when Tommy Hearns faces Virgil Hill. What's your general impression of that one?
Classic matchup. Anybody in boxing has to love that fight. A puncher versus a boxer, and you know, it's an oft-used expression, perhaps a cliche, but you give him a puncher's chance against a superlative boxer.
Is the glow still on your face from that Laker win the other day?
Well, we've got the best team.
You may well. Thank you very much. Okay, let's go back to Richard ringside.
Thanks, Al. I tell you, he was absolutely giddy last night, Jerry Buss was.
Why wouldn't he be?
Now this has turned into a beautiful evening here in Las Vegas as we start the 8th round of this heavyweight bout between Orlin Norris and Tony Tucker.
You know, I looked down at my scorecard. I can't believe this. It's got to be that Tucker's won some of these rounds, and we're looking at this thing one-sided. But I just, as the rounds progress, you count the punches, you count the guy who's backing the other guy up, and it comes down to Norris all the time. Everyone, is that a hard or a soft warning?
Well, these have been close rounds, Bertie, in large part, but a lot of 10-9 rounds. What can you do? They add up.
I'm just looking at it. When you look at a thing like that, sometimes you get on somebody's case and you just don't see it right. But I see that Norris continues to come in, block all the shots, control the action, is the guy that lands the more effective punches, and usually is backing up the larger guy. See, he's chasing him and landing that shot to the side.
Come on, let's
now,
go.
what was
Come
that?
on.
Tucker was bothered by that shot to the hip, it appeared.
Well, he's been getting hit there all the time. You know, the rib, especially hits a short rib. Boy, that starts to hurt after a while. And that's apparently right where he's drilling it.
Norris coming in wild with the left hook.
that's silly on his part, because when you get wild and off your feet is when you can get drilled. Boy, there's nothing that feels worse than being off your feet and getting hit a hard counterpunch.
Tucker still does a lot of things, though, in textbook fashion. He throws a nice left hook. He's got a nice jab. He goes to the body well with his left hook, too, but he just doesn't do enough.
Hey, Tucker, look at that. He's shaking his head. Every time he gets hit on the side, he's shaking his head as Tucker. It's bothering him back there. Something that Norris has picked up. His corner is saying, same spot, go right to it. You know, in Tony Tucker, you're looking at a major disappointment, because he had such talent, such size, such reflexes. He was such a superior fighter. When he got to be the champion, you thought, boy, he's going to be up here for a while. Oh, nice right hand by Tucker. He landed it right on the side of Norris's head. The first clean, good right hand he's landed.
But one thing that continues to impress me about Orlin Norris is he takes punches well.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't, at least so far, he has not wobbled.
Well, it's hard to wobble when you're hitting the glove. I mean, he is not getting hit clean. Oh, that was a clean shot. Now, that was a clean shot. The sweat flew from Norris, who had his back to us. I didn't see the exact location of the punch. Boy, there was a lot of sweat coming off his head.
Tucker trying to put some punches together and enjoying a pretty good round.
Yes, he is. The best round.
There's that shot to the hip again, and he complains to
keep
the
him up. One hard warning.
Another hard warning.
One soft and one hard. I wonder if two softs make a hard warning.
We are through 8 rounds of this NABF heavyweight title fight, and there's Orlin Norris. We are live at Caesar's Palace and awaiting the start of tonight's big forum boxing presentation, the WBA light heavyweight championship fight between Virgil Hill, the champion, and Thomas Hearns, the challenger, 5-time world champ. How much fight, how much power left in the fists of Thomas Hearns is a question that will be answered this evening. And just how good is Virgil Hill is a question that will be answered this evening.
Here's Tucker's good punch. This might have won the round for him. I gave him the round in the first round. Ooh, look at that. That means that Norris can take it. Norris came back with a body shot. I want to tell you, Tucker won the round, but he went over and collapsed onto his stool like an imploded building. I never saw anybody slide down into a stool like that. He is tired, is Tony Tucker.
And I would have liked to have seen Tucker throw that right hand, perhaps following his jabs a little bit more tonight. Or as you mentioned, Ferdy to counter off of those left jabs that Orlin Norris is throwing.
Reflexes aren't there. You can see it, but you can't throw it. You know he's throwing. You know you could hit him with yours, but it doesn't trigger off in your mind. And there's no amount of training to get your reflexes back.
Norris keeps coming forward excessively. Tucker has not been running tonight.
Good hard jabs, but hitting gloves.
He tried to jab to the body and then managed to get one in there between the two gloves.
By the time he gets it, it's hit both gloves. It's ricocheted in there. It's not effective. It's not that Tucker's doing such a bad job. The score indicates a runaway. It's not that at all. I mean, and the potential, the ominous potential for a quick knockout is certainly still there with a guy this big and can punch as hard and sharp as Tucker does. It's just that it didn't happen.
There have been no knockdowns so far in the fight. We are in round number 9. And Norris trying to cut off the ring and keep Tucker with his back to the ropes, just give him half the ring to work with, but now he backs out of there and throws that left. He's landing a lot of shots on the hips, both hips of Tony Tucker. Tucker doesn't like it.
No, he looks disturbed. It looks like it bothers him. His face reflects pain. He might be hitting that short rib, as I said before, and that, of course, the bottom of the rib cage gets very sore when you do that. Pace slowed down a little bit, but it's still Norris making the fight. It's still him chasing, blocking the shots, and trying to land his thumping body shots. big roll of tape coming off of Tucker, and they got to stop it and redo the tape. And I think Tucker should be happy to get any respite that he can. Any rest is welcome. He wouldn't mind if they sent out for a new pair of gloves and he had to wait.
Angelo Dundee would probably figure out a way to work it out.
Come on, let's go.
I said I was kidding. I said it kiddingly, but somebody with a scissor cut the whole strip off and cut into the strings. So now they're really having to tape it. I've never seen that. I mean, I've seen a couple of new things here tonight. Hard warnings. All the tape cut out, and now here we go again. We resume.
Stacy McKinley in the corner, retaping the glove of Tony Tucker. It is managed by Jack Cohen.
Oh,
man, Norris just wound up with that left hand. Wound up and missed. That takes a little out of you when you miss like that.
I tell you what takes a little out of is Tucker thinking, oh, why didn't I throw something just then? He's coming in like Joe Frazier used to. You know, all out. He doesn't care. He just launches himself like a human comet. I mean, that's the kind of aggression that you expect from a little guy. Oh, another good hammering shot to the head of Norris.
Yep, he caught that.
By Tucker.
Caught that shot coming in again.
But it's high on the forehead. It was high up here. Look at that. Oh, just as Tucker started to come on to save the round, and too late.
A couple of quick lefts by the challenger Tony Tucker at the end of the round. After that right, just a few moments before that.
Tighten it up when you get on the inside. Get them gloves a little tighter. That uppercut's getting in. Okay?
The three rounds, so let's not give this fight away.
Watch this miss. This is like a meteor. Missed by a mile and missed by 2 miles. I mean, he almost launched himself in space. And, you know, that does tire you out when you do that.
Oh, Tucker.
Let's take another. I mean, it seems incredible. I'd like to see that again. I'd like to have seen that miss. That is almost a Hall of Fame miss. Let's listen a minute.
All right. It looks good. Just busy. Don't give him the round. Don't even give him a chance to score in the round. Stay at him. Keep him backing up. Stay at him.
10th round, Orlin Norris at 5'9", and Tony Tucker at 6'5".
And it's beginning to look like if Norris stays busy, as his corner just said, you just heard him say, stay busy. If he does, and if he keeps piling up this points, it appears that the only way that Tucker can win this fight is by a knockout. Remember, these scores are unofficial. It's just my opinion, and the judges have...
Up. Second hard one. Up.
Second hard warning to Tucker. That's about the only way. I guess with a third, you lose a point. His corner said pants are too high anyway.
Norris aggressive. Coming faster now, it appears, Ferdy.
Yeah, he's been told to keep busy. It's been his fight all the way. He hasn't been hurt. He might be getting a little careless. Norris here has been having it all his way. He might get careless.
Tucker, though, does have his moments. That's what keeps it interesting, and he's still in the fight.
Tucker has not quit. He hasn't. He's lost his attention span every once in a while, but that's his nature. But he's tried. No disgrace in Tucker's performance. He's tried. He's just in with a little guy that's much faster, has excellent boxing moves. Oh, low. That deserves a hard one.
Orlin Norris hasn't lost a fight in a year and a half. His last loss was a fight in which he was winning over Bert Cooper, and he suffered a wrenched knee in the fight. He was ahead on points, and they had to stop the fight at that point, and Norris had to have a reconstructive surgery on the knee.
That's odd in boxing.
But he has come back, and come back well.
Norris is resting a little bit now. Norris is not picking up the action. He's letting this guy get brave now. It may well be, and it should be, that Norris is getting a little tired. After all, it's round 10, and he's been doing all the lifting, pushing, and pulling here.
Tucker still trying to get his jab to work and to keep Orlin Norris on the end of it.
Tucker has slowed.
Good combination, Tony Tucker. A couple of jabs, came in with a quick right and then a crisp left.
Norris is fighting completely different. He's slowed down. He hadn't got any kind of pace to him like he had before.
Here comes Tucker, but he missed most of those shots.
He missed all of his shots and got a nice low blow for his effort. Good. Lucky that the referee was on the other side, or he's got his third hard warning, which I imagine means he's going to lose a point. He's fighting very slow at Norris. All of a sudden, it's just like he went into slow gear. He's not even punching with the same intensity. Oh, he's heading into troubled times.
Final seconds, round 10. There's Tony Tucker, looking a bit weary as he goes to his
He's mad at anybody that signed this contract. You got 2 more rounds, huh? This is it. 11's coming. 11 rounds. You know what I want you to do? You know what I want you to do? I want you to use.
We're in Norris's corner now. Let's listen.
Can't give him any resting. Okay? Can't give him any shot.
Need both of them.
Well, these two fighters are trying to get ready for round 11. Virgil Hill is getting ready for his big moment. First time he's really center stage in a big super fight in Las Vegas. Virgil Hill in the dressing room getting ready to face this man, Thomas the Hitman Hearns, who's been down this road of the big marquee fight on many, many occasions. That could be a factor tonight.
All right, let's see if Norris has gotten recharged in his corner. They said, well, you blew that round. I thought he did. You blew that round. We need these two. It's 11 and 12. And the corner correctly is telling Norris to step it up again. Suck it up. Come up with something. Don't let this guy get brave.
Well, Orlin started fast in that last round for the first 30 seconds, and he just posed the rest of the round.
Well, I think he got hit there. He'd gotten hit several times. And, you know, you are talking about a guy who can bang. I mean, and there is an effect to hard punches, which is that it slows you down. He's been blocking everything. He hadn't gotten hit real hard yet.
Tucker did put a couple of good combinations together in that last round.
And hit him some good counter shots. I mean, he won the round. We're now at 97-93 unofficially with Norris ahead. And definitely these two rounds are rounds that Tucker should be really fighting up to as hard as he could.
Again, a situation, though, like in the previous fight with Chiquita Gonzalez and Melchikov Castro, several close rounds along the way.
Right now, both men look tired. Signs of real weariness in Tucker. And certainly Norris hasn't got the speed that he had before. That was the fastest punches he's thrown in a while, his last three.
Well, he got the two lefts home and then missed the overhand right. That was a combination that was working for him earlier. Tries it again there. A bit of a pattern by Orlin. He chose the two quick lefts and then the follow-up right.
He hasn't gone to that body as much as he had before.
Tucker at 32, still a pretty graceful guy.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. With that set of punches, you could see the talent that the man had, the grace, the ability to dominate the sport that he had. Every once in a while, you see flashes of that greatness. And then it fades, and the little man comes on and outspeeds him.
Tucker trying to wheel Norris around. He likes to use that jab and then tries to throw the left hook to the body. If he can get a couple of jabs in, we'll see if Tucker does that anymore in this round. Likes to go to that left hook to the body. It's been at times an effective punch for him tonight.
Find this round a dull round. I mean, nothing has happened here. There hasn't been a great deal of production. Uh-oh, here goes a point. One.
Is he going to take one away? Yes, he is. Stop. All right, deduct 1 point from Orlin Norris.
So that makes it.
That could be a factor here tonight.
He had won the round, so you take a point away.
That make you mad, so you don't call it on him?
Write it down.
What the hell?
All right, Ferdy, let's take a look at this low blow and see if it was.
Yeah, let's see how bad this was to take a point away. Because remember, this is the third warning. Well, you couldn't see it well there. It looked like he landed right where the TNT is. And
yeah, it looked kind of borderline to me, and that's when he said in the instructions he wasn't going to take a point away from it.
According to those instructions, again, you can't see it properly there. But it certainly wasn't one of those below the border. No.
All right, we are getting ready for round 12. How does the scorecard look?
I got Norris ahead, 106 to 102, meaning Tucker's got to win. But remember, as you pointed out, a lot of these rounds have been close. And while we were on that long streak.
Come on, gentlemen, let's go. Orlin, you keep it up. You keep off his neck.
He tried to go with the old Muhammad Ali trick on his neck, pushing down.
Might as well. Nothing else is stopping this guy. Now, this could be a round. This could be a round. It's extremely important to Tucker. Tucker must take this. Finish this fight looking good. It's a possibility that the judges are looking at it differently, but I see that I think superior speed, superior boxing technique, and blocking of shots has won this fight if he survives the round for Norris.
Two clashed heads inside. Tucker looked a little bothered by that. Still, boy, that left is still quick from Tony Tucker. Snaps out. Norris landed one left, but then missed the follow-up right.
Again,
yeah, for that neck. Second warning. Let's go. Stay off it.
Second warning means the third one, and he can lose this one.
Tucker trying to put some punches together, punching combinations. That's what he did earlier in his career to such good effect.
But Norris has that radar that just avoids the punches. He looks like if he gets caught leaning back that far, he's going to get drilled into the canvas. But so far, Tucker has not been able to land it. The throws and combinations are beautiful, but they're not effective. They're not hurting Norris. What now? The mouthpiece went out.
So they call time. They will take the mouthpiece to the corner, wash it off, and then replace it.
Let's go.
Yep, they didn't even get a wash.
Not too high.
Good right to the body, just above that. Now the two exchange punches. Norris landing first, and then Tucker trying to fire back.
Whoa, Tucker dangerously put his hand on Norris's head again. One more, and he loses this one. Norris punching much better now. For the last two rounds, he sort of took a vacation. He's starting to get a little sharper again. Harder. Oh, that landed, but not hard.
Good combination from Orlin Norris. That last right sends Tucker's head back. 30 seconds left in this fight.
Entertaining fight, which because of the size difference in the absolute amazing ability of Norris to outthink, outspeed the larger man and outpunch him, actually. Be an interesting thing to see if the judges see it as we do. A one-sided victory for Orlin Norris.
Come on, let him out.
There it is. This fight goes the distance, and immediately the arms go up from Orlin Norris. He feels that he has won this bout. The decision rests in the hands of Bill Graham, Patricia Jarman, and Paul Smith, all judges from Las Vegas. There's Orlin Norris. He is the defending champion, remember. So the second time he has held the title, the NABF, and he's really looking forward to making this the fight where he could step into the real picture, to become a factor in the heavyweight division. And he felt that if he could defeat Tony Tucker, a guy with a record of 40 victories against only one defeat, that he would take that quantum leap up into the elite of the heavyweight division. Tony Tucker, 32 years old. He lost 14 pounds from his last fight in just a month to get ready for this. Seemed to be in much better shape. And hoping to regain the prestige that he had a few years ago when he was the IBF title holder. There's no question he had some problems with Orlin Norris tonight. It appeared from the looks in the corner that Orlin Norris was a little more confident of winning the decision than was Tony Tucker. But that's for the judges to decide. There were no knockdowns in this fight. All right, so let's get the decision now. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is got the decision, so let's go up to Jimmy now. Jimmy Lennon Jr. has apparently lost the microphone, has lost the sound of the microphone. So we'll try to get it fixed or get another mic into Jimmy. While we wait for that, we remind you that coming up in just a few minutes, and there will not be a long pause between fights, so stay right with us, will be the light heavyweight title fight. All right, I think Jimmy Lennon is ready now to give us the decision. Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 championship rounds of boxing, we have a split decision, and here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Paul Smith scores the bout 114-113, Orlin Norris. Bill Graham scores about 117-110, Tony Tucker. Judge at ringside, Patricia Jarman scores about 116-111 in favor of the winner and the new NABF heavyweight champion, Tony TNT Tucker.
Well, there's a split decision for Tony Tucker that is met with a mixed reaction, to say the least, from the crowd here on hand. Tony Tucker running his record to 41-1. It was not an easy fight for Tony. He was a one-sided winner on one of the cards at 117-110. Orlin Norris had a 1-point victory on the cards of one of the judges. But the deciding judge, Patricia Jarman, scored a 116-111 for Tony TNT Tucker. So he has defeated Orlin Norris tonight on a split decision and taken his NABF crown away from him. So we will go up now to Ferdy Pacheco, who's waiting with the winner. Ferdy?
Congratulations. Kind of a surprise there. A lot of people at ringside thought you were way behind, needed that last round. How did you feel about the fight as it was going on?
Oh, I know I had control of the fight, the whole fight. But like I did in Tyson fight, I had to use basically my left hand. You know, me and my trainer, Roosevelt McKinley, my manager here, Jack Cohen, and Ed Wicks here, we all worked, you know, with this man right there.
Well,
anyway, we worked hard before the fight, you know, and I think I sprung my right hand.
Was he hard to stop? It seemed like you couldn't get to that peekaboo of his.
Yeah, he had a good defense, you know, and but I figured I'd keep him out at range with the jab. I kept him busy with the jab. I know he couldn't throw no shots, you know. But I'll be back, you know, and I'll be looking better and better. You know, this is just my sixth fight coming back, and I'm letting everybody know that I'm serious. Coming back.
Since we're in a hurry to get to the Hearns fight, I would like to leave you, and I think you can't punch fast enough for me to get out. I thought the other guy had won the fight. Wait a minute. I thought the other guy had won the fight because of his superior defense, but you look good in coming back.
That's all right. We'll win the next one.
Okay. And back to Rich. Since I didn't get hit, it's back to Rich at ringside.
Well, there he is, honest Ferdy Pacheco, giving his honest opinion to Tony Tucker. But nonetheless, the judges who make the official decision give the fight on a split decision to Tony Tucker. He is the new NABF heavyweight champ.
So Tony Tucker wins what to this crowd was a controversial split.
Wins all by knockouts and suffering the third loss of his career to Tony Tubbs in '92. His other two defeats to current WBC heavyweight champion Oliver McCall and current WBO heavyweight champion Riddick Bowe back-to-back in '91. He comes off a first-round stoppage of Bill Corrigan in Quito, Ecuador in December. For 28-year-old Selden, his first world title shot. And now the #1 heavyweight contender, Tony Tucker, an 8.5-to-1 favorite, courtesy of Caesars Palace Sportsbook. He is the former IBF heavyweight champ who beat Buster Douglas for that title in '87. Then his first title defense 63 days later, dethroned by Mike Tyson, although Tucker one of only 3 to go 12 rounds with the former world champ. He did it with an injured right hand as well. The 36-year-old Tucker out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, 52-2, 1 no contest, 43 KOs. Let's check the numbers as we go to the tail of the tape. Biggest disparity in age. Tucker at 36, 8 years older than Selden. Tucker has the size at 6'5", nearly a 4-inch height advantage. Tucker tipped the scales at 243, Selden at 236, and the 5-inch reach advantage for Tucker. WBA rules, 10-point must system, 3 scoring judges, no standing 8 count, 3 knockdown rule is in effect. Only the referee can stop the fight. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the last round. So here at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, closing in on the 3rd of 5 world title fights, the WBA Heavyweight Championship. Back to our ring announcer, Jimmy. Lennon Jr.
Well, fans, we welcome you to our next world title feature bout of the evening, brought to you by Don King Productions and King Vision in association with Showtime Event Television, Corona Beer, and Caesar's Palace. At this time, we present the vacant WBA Heavyweight Championship of the World. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association President Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor Alberto Sarmiento, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the Chairman, Dr. James Nave. The judges appointed, scoring this bout from ringside, we have Dwayne Ford, Art Lurie,